Hey guys, Mark Fit checking in. I wanted to make this video. I just did it in French, and it's pretty crazy how many people ask me like which book that I've read when I first started and things like that. And to be honest, I've never been like a big reader. I've never been someone who was like interested like that much in book. I was interested in knowledge, but reading for me always been like super boring until I reached like I would say like 21 or 22. Right before I started like the fitness thing, I was in school and I just started to listen to podcasts. For me, podcast was a big deal. It was something amazing. It was kind of like my learning time. You know, I was putting like a podcast in my car, putting it not while working out, because when I work out, I want to be focused. But I was just listening like to podcasts all the time. I've listened to thousands and thousands of hours of podcasts. Every single time that I was like driving, I was listening to a podcast. And at some point I found Audible. So Audible is a service by Amazon. I'm not sponsored by Audible. I don't try to plug anything or like go on audible.com/Mark. Maybe I'll check because I recommend it so much. But that being said, Audible for me has been a super big deal because I can save so much time, because I'm already like commuting like to work, or back then was to school. When I was going in the sauna, I was listening to books and now I even have waterproof headphones to listen to books while I'm taking my shower. Not every single time, because sometimes I just like to enjoy a good shower, but I even do that now. And the reason why is just because if you take, let's say like you wake up 1 hour earlier every single day, at the end of the year, you have 6 full 40-hour week additional to your year. How does that sound? It's insane. So for me, being able to listen to books, I can do something else at the same time. If I'm doing some work, sometime, if it's not like too intense, I will listen to book, more interviews or things like that, because it's knowledge. And I don't want to be like portrayed as the guy with here in my garage, Ty Lopez, but it's true. It's just pure knowledge. And sometimes we see a book. I see let's say I'll take this one. This one, or Arnold. Let's Total Recall from Arnold. Look at the size of the book. But this is Arnold biography. Everything that he have learned, almost everything, not everything, but like a bunch of things that he wanted to share with you guys is available. I know sometimes like a book looks expensive, like $20, $30. But you should see me now when I go like to the States, because I'm living in Montreal and we don't have all the books available like in English or things like that, and some books are not even shipped here. So when I'm going to the States, I come back with like a full suitcase of books, and the reason why is just because I know that yes, I will spend some time reading, but that time that I put in right now will serve me for the rest of my life. And sometime in a book, like I would say most of the book, I don't like the entire book. I don't get something out of the entire book, but I think we should stop trying to always get result or something right now, because you never know when you will use this certain knowledge. Maybe sometime like you will read a book and you just go to a business meeting or something, someone talk about something, and then you can just connect with that person. Just say, I read that book too. And, oh yeah, did you like this part? Maybe you didn't like that part. And I don't say like fake that you liked it, but you can interact with that person, and it's just like a deeper connection with that person because you did something similar. It's like if you're working in the construction, or you're a police officer and you meet another police officer. You already have something similar. You already have something that you can share together, that you're alike, and it deepens the relationship. I don't know if that makes sense, but for me, books is something that had a lot of value to my life and to the way that I think. It's like traveling. It's like it helps you not to think vertically, not just in one straight line. It helps you to see different opinions, see different ways of doing things, see different life. And the great part about it is you don't have to live it yourself. You can just read a biography, or you can just read a story, or you can just pick up a book or listen to a book, to a podcast, to listen to someone else. So every single time that I'm hearing someone talk, or it could be anyone, I'm interested. And the reason why is just because I know it can serve me in the long run, and not in well, it could be in a selfish way if you want, but you don't go like into something just trying to get things just for yourself. Sometimes it's just like working on your perception of things. So, well, this, I just did the video in French and was like 30 minutes, so I'll try to keep it short, condensed. Had some practice in French. And yeah, let's start with the first book, which is a classic. And the intro wasn't too long. I probably lost like half of the viewers, but that said, first book, classic, Think and Grow Rich. This book from Napoleon Hill is just amazing. Not a lot of people like will read a title, Think and Grow Rich, make money. Yes, for sure, they will explain a lot of the principle how to generate money and generate wealth and value. But what is amazing about this book is you can basically read this book for your entire life, because there's so many like routine principles and things that you can do on a day-to-day basis that will serve you to become a better person. And for me, being rich is not necessarily having like $1 million in your bank account or even $1 billion. It's more so about being able to be with people and make them feel better just because they're around you, and not in a way that you just give them compliments, but that they feel that they can strive for more. They are inspired by you. They feel that they are supported by you, that you're a force of nature with them. So for me, being rich is this, being able to be impactful in the life of people. And when they're around you, they're like, man, there's something about this guy or this girl. I want to be like him. And not entirely all the time, but like sometimes there's just characteristic in someone that you see like, that I like. And I got a good, well, I won't go into like stories and stuff like that, but the one of the most impactful person in my life was my high school mathematics teacher. And this guy, I need to go see him before something happened to him, and I say that all the time when I talk about him. But yeah, I really have to take some time and just go see him and just thank him. Because this guy was a force of nature, not just for myself, but for a bunch of students. So if you're a teacher and watching this video, be kind with people, be good, because you have so much impact on all the teenagers there, and you just don't want to be like the surgeon there, you know? For sure there's discipline to make, and this guy did some discipline as well, but the way that he was teaching with passion and just loving his job, and it was mathematics, you know, fucking boring. But it made me love mathematics, and I wanted to be like this guy. Not being a mathematics teacher, but just being someone who's just living with passion and just like enjoying, and like, you know, the way that he was teaching, he was explaining like, and it's a bit like this book as well. It's just like, you know, there is a method to do things. There is a way to do things, and you want to do them 100%, and you want to follow the method. You want to follow the principle or the strategy that you put in place, the plan, and you just follow it step by step. You don't change a thing on the script. You just do it step by step, and you will end up with the right result. And that's what he was teaching us when we were doing a problem or something. He was always focusing on the method first. And I think, yeah, I just got something, just telling the story. It's not about going fast. It's about doing the right thing, because it's always the right thing to do the right thing. And so you do step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, good result. If you try to skip ways and things like that, especially when you're in the learning process of like integrating like a new habit or something, what happened is like you will fucked up along the way. You won't get the 100% of the result. And doing the thing, even though it's long, and just following the principle, it's like when you train. When you start training, you know, you do a bunch of things. You ask everyone like advice, and it's a good thing. Like you should do that because it helps you save time. But you start like following like a workout, and then someone else like tell you to, you should do it this way, and then you start to add up more things, but you skip the initial plan. And then you try to add up some stuff. I'll take this supplement, and I will do that one with my diet, and I will do that with my sleep, and then I will try to do this, and you just try to do too many things at once, and you would get even more result. And it's proven by a lot of studies, if you were just doing the first plan, the simple one, just start with the simple one, and just do it over and over and over again. And then after that, after a while, when it's a habit, then integrate new steps. But before that, just follow the stupid plan, just follow it, stick to the basic. And it's a bit like this, in this book, like they just teach you a bunch of things that you can do to become richer mentally and also financially. But yeah, classic. It was an easy recommendation, and I don't want to be this video as like, yeah, we knew this one. So second recommendation, it's like two recommendations because they're alike, they're really similar. Let me just check if the camera is still rolling. Damn, it's been 10 minutes already. So second recommendation, and I think we should all be more this way. I hope that you guys find value in this. I enjoy doing this video. That's kind of like my geeky thing, like to talk about things that I've learned and like just, yeah, trying to add value to your life. This one, I probably placed it somewhere else. Let me find it. I have them here. Right, they're on my phone. So I listened to these books. First one is Extreme Ownership from Jocko Willink. The book was released, I think, 2 years ago. It's an ex-Navy SEAL. And it's all about taking ownership of your life, taking ownership of your action, doing things 100%. And a little bit like the things that I was just talking about. Like, you know, if something happens, it might not be your fault. It's probably not your fault. In most cases, it's not your fault. But you're responsible to take action against it. Even if your parents were abusive to you, it's not your fault. Yes, for sure it sucks. It's not fun. But complaining about it for the rest of your life for things that were in the past doesn't help you. You're still responsible of your own happiness and creating the life that you want. You only got like one chance. So you're responsible of your happiness, responsible of the way that you live, responsible of the people that you surround yourself with. You're responsible of that. You're taking that action. You're agreeing to be with bums if you're with bums, or you know, you're responsible of that. Taking ownership is excessively important if you want to change your life and if you want to live the way that you want. And I'm not here like just to tell you like do that. It's just it's so common sense, but we don't always, you know, follow it or even want to, you know, things happen and we are just pissed off, and it's better just to blame everyone else. Yeah, you can complain, but I think I started to do like a couple of years ago, I think 7 years ago or 8 years ago. If something happens, I complain for like a minute and then it's done. Because it's already in the past, I cannot do anything. The only thing I can do is move forward and take responsibility of what I can do now. Focusing on controlling the now instead of trying to control the past, or even like not even control the past, just like blame everybody else for what happened or what is going on. And I think a good way to transcend from being in the overwhelming place and just sticking there is knowing that you will die. So being aware of your own death and your own finish line, you know, at some point it will happen, help you to make better decision and just say like, I shouldn't focus on that because my time is counted, which is true. So that's the first recommendation of this second one. Second book will be Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. Simon Sinek is an amazing author, one of my favorite author of all time. He also wrote a crazy book. This book is amazing too. It's Start With Why. So how to live with passion, how to transmit it and really live with purpose. But that's not the book that I want to recommend. This is just because I receive a bunch of like DMs of like my top 3 if I was getting started, you know, what would have or had the most impact to develop myself. So that's the second one. So Start With Why, amazing book. Not Start With Why, sorry. Leaders Eat Last. And in this book, there's a lot of like principle and about building communities, building good team, surrounding yourself with people who want to, you know, not just follow you, but being with you. And yeah, it says it in the title, feed yourself first. It's like, you know, it's like just common sense. Like if someone is in front of you, man, you open the door. Or yeah, it's just, you want to be that person that people can rely on. You know, if something happens, you're there. If you have to stay, and I feel like these days, like it's so easy to get access to things and like, oh, I want this now, and then when you don't have it, you're pissed off, and it's kind of it's a normal reaction. You know, we want to have things. We want to. When I say things, it's not just like cars and materials, but it could be even like, I want to get like this girl or I don't know, whatever. But sometimes we forget about giving value to the other person, or we put people last. And it shouldn't be this way. Your life will be a direct proportional of the value you can give to people. Will be directly proportional to the value you can give to people. And good leaders will always sacrifice themselves first. And it's like, you don't want to overdo it, because if you overdo it and you just start giving everything, then you cannot conserve your mental sanity, your mental focus. You cannot conserve your own happiness. You cannot conserve. There's many things you cannot conserve, and it's all in relationship of what you can give afterward. So there's, you know, kind of like the basic that you want to have for yourself, and like feeling happy, and you need to meet your own need first. But once you have it, then you can expand. And once you are in that position, and once you create it for yourself at first, then you know how to do it again. And then you can give to more people. And then if something happens, you can be that person that people can rely on. You can absorb the shock. You can absorb the negativity. You can do things and then help other people around you, even though it's chaos. So yeah, even when it's the chaos, leaders will eat last, and they will make sure it works. And they will do it 100%, and they will just give everything they've got, even if it takes a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever it takes. They will give everything they've got for the people. So yeah, I guess that's my second recommendation. Third one, I wasn't like the third one. I got like kind of like two. This one from Ryan Holiday, The Daily Stoic. Amazing book, but it's not a book that you just, you know, read at once. You know, you might read like, you know, 3, 4, 5, 10 pages in a day, but it's more Stoic philosophy. So when you read, like, let's say like a passage, let's say you turn a page and it's a philosophy, and they have like the subject, and then it's from, let's say, like Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, and he just says something that he learned through his life, and then there's kind of like a synopsis, or there's kind of like sometimes the story behind, sometimes just more depth into what he just said to understand better. And for me, this book has been super valuable, because it helped me to construct my mind and be more thoughtful about the way that I think, about the way that I live my life, the way that I am as a person. And I was bringing this book like in the sauna and just read a page or two, and then just thinking about it and reflect on it. And amazing book, amazing knowledge, amazing way to save a lot of time and learn from people that are dead, and amazing book. So The Daily Stoic, highly recommend this one. But that will be kind of like an easy book to buy. It's not something that with like an angle. And all the books that I recommended, like I recommend like reading books that are impactful more than once, because you will get something else from it. And sometimes you don't get like, it's not that a book is good the entire way, but sometimes it's just like one sentence that will change your life or your perception about things, and that will help you to become better or just create something amazing. So yeah, Daily Stoic. Final one, Principles from Ray Dalio. Amazing book. This book, you got to be ready for it, I would say. It's all the life and work principle from Ray Dalio, one of the best investor in the world, who generated like a lot of wealth for his client, and created a lot of like principle and about, because as human being, like communication is pretty weak. There's a lot of like gray zone and like interpretation of things and opinions, and we all have like different backgrounds, different principle. We all have different principle, different families, different opinion of things, different. It could be anything like sexuality. There's many things that makes us all unique, which is a good thing. But in principle, what is nice is like they created like ways to create like a. And I tried to find words in English, but like median. I don't know if it's the median, but like kind of like the average of like what is the right choice by not building a democracy, but by building a system that, because a democracy, I feel like you upvote a certain choice. And now I'm not here to talk about politics or anything like that, but the way I see it is like democracy is like you, at the final moment when you need to decide, what is right or what should be there or whatever is the reason why, you just upvote, okay, I'm for that person, or I'm for this decision, or this is better, and I'm for that. But you don't necessarily like have to justify your decision. And in the book, I feel like for me it was like super impactful to see it this way, is like you kind of like leverage the brains of everyone in the room or of your team to give their opinion, upvote whatever they want, but also give some background to the decision so you can see what they see in their own mind, and then bring everything together and create some sort of like upvoting like system that brings all that data and that perspective and difference into one melting pot, and then make the best decision based on that. So it's not just subjective to one person to a democracy or something like that. It's more, I feel it's more, maybe not scientific, but just there's more data point. So that's pretty much like my book recommendation. I have a bunch of books. I read like on average, I would say listen to 40 something books a year right now. And for me, it's just saving time. Yes, I invest time in the learning process, but then afterward it helped shape the way that I think, help me make better decisions, create connection, help me become a better person, help me help more people around me. And it's something I've never really talked on this channel, but yeah, it's just good value, and learning is cool, guys. It's pretty cool. When you can have like good conversation and add value to life of people and your perception. It's like traveling, you learn from all these people who put so much time and hours into creating one document, and you can get it for $15, $20, $30, $60. It's pretty damn good. So on that, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Let me know what are your top recommendation of books, and let's chat about it, and let me know if this video was useful. I hope so. It was really improvised, and I just hope it had some value to your life, and that was just my only hope. And that, peace. I'll see you in the next one.